Well, first of all, thanks Merlin for organizing all this. I did a lot of work behind the scenes. I really appreciate that. Merlin spoke about a human rights complainant who was recently attacked by the Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, Michael Bryant. He was talking about me and my complaint to the Ontario Human Rights Commission regarding OPP Commissioner Fantino and two other officers who arrested me while I was trying to put up a flag. And also my complaint involved the allegations that my civil rights were violated, along with a whole bunch of other people, when on January 20th, they again refused to allow non-natives to exercise our right to put up flags in Caledonia. And I did submit a complaint to the Ontario Human Rights Commission. On April the 7th, Bryant was asked how he felt about the fact that the Human Rights Commission had scheduled a mediation session with me and the OPP. And this is what he had to say. It's very startling. This is a quote from the Toronto Star article. Aboriginal Affairs Minister Michael Bryant said, "The human rights complaint doesn't help resolve a complex situation dating back hundreds of years." So non-natives should not submit human rights complaints, apparently. Most people don't have much sympathy for Vandermaas or McHale after their tense rallies in the divided town, he said. Their activity, generally speaking, is extremely harmful, and as far as I can tell, unwelcome by everybody, Bryant said. I know a lot of people in Caledonia feel that they're individuals who are just trying to get attention for themselves and are, in fact, stirring it up. Now I want you to think about this for a second and ask yourself this question. What do you think the media and the opposition reaction would have been if a cabinet minister in Mike Harris's government had publicly attacked a native complainant to the Human Rights Commission? Well, let me tell you what the media and the opposition MPPs have done about Bryant's attack on me and my character, Gary McHale's character as well, and my complaint on the Human Rights Commission. That's right, nothing. I contacted 6 opposition MPPs, most whose names you will recognize, and I asked them for help. With the lone exception of the NDP's Aboriginal Affairs critic, who at least gave me some platitudes, not a single one of them responded, not a single one of them offered to help me. Gary McHale contacted his MPP, couldn't even get his calls returned. I contacted my own MPP in London, her name's Deborah Matthews. I asked for her help. I faxed her, I emailed her, and I dropped off a hard copy of my information because I had also written a letter to the Ontario Human Rights Commission to get at my concerns on record about Bryant trying to interfere with the human rights complaint process. I asked Deborah Matthews if she could help me, if she would meet with me, talk about issues, and help me get an apology from the minister. She happens to be Liberal, but she has not responded. I contacted Michael Bryant's office. I asked for a meeting so that we could talk about the issues and hopefully, possibly, open the doors to meaningful consultation regarding the issues and the concerns of non-native citizens associated with these land claims. Mr. Bryant has not responded. The message is clear and unmistakable. The Ontario government will petition the courts and provide funding for the legal fees of native protesters who have been convicted of crimes, yet law-abiding non-native protesters will be viciously smeared for exercising their right to file a complaint with the Ontario Human Rights Commission. Even worse, the opposition parties will not even rise in the legislature to denounce a cabinet minister who has sunk so low as to degrade a human rights complainant. A complaint, by the way, that has for the first time has a chance of holding the OPP accountable for their disgraceful conduct in Caledonia. Not a single media outlet has held the minister accountable for his remarks. Not a single one of them. This is frightening to me because I always thought the media were supposed to be the watchdogs of our democracy. It tells us all that with very few exceptions, non-native human beings affected by land claims are expendable, not only to the government and its political police force, not only to the opposition parties, but to those I once believed were the watchdogs of democracy. So where does this leave us? It leaves us with the clear understanding, because there can be no doubt by now, that fighting injustice is not to be left up to our so-called leaders, not to the toothless, politically correct media types, but it is up to us to peacefully and aggressively demand that our rights be respected. History is proving, recent events are proving, that Gary McHale was right all along when he warned us of race-based policing and the damage it would do to our country. He has endured death threats, physical attacks, financial disaster, and repugnant attacks on his character for speaking the truth and for applying in Caledonia the lessons taught to us by Martin Luther King about the non-violent confrontation of injustice. And I thank you for listening, and I do really appreciate your support in coming out today. I know, as Gary has said often, you know, we don't have thousands of people out here. It does not take many people to make a difference in society. History teaches us that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, those of you who gave up your Sundays to come here and hear the word. So thank you.
Hear him.